Okay, so today is July 19th. Here's another update on the dump truck saga. All right. I had all the oil leaks fixed. It cost quite a bit. That was the first $2,400 round of bills. It did not drop a lick of oil. We were still having the engine problems, so I took it to GM. It's been there for 2 weeks now. They replaced the rear fuel pump and they replaced the front fuel pump. They cleaned out the front fuel tank because we had cleaned out the rear one already. Then when the two fuel pumps were in, they had good pressure and it popped some more fuel line leaks. And I had already told them, but there was a miscommunication. Go ahead and order the new fuel line kit. The kit itself was over $400, but that replaced all of the fuel lines. So then they thought they had it done. And when I called him, he's like, yeah, it's done. And I said, all right, is it all good to go? And he's like, well, he said the technician drove it and, it kind of ran a little bit rough, but then he shut it off and restarted it. And then it was fine after that. He said, so it should be good. I'm like, wait a minute. That's the exact symptoms it was having before. And he said, well, the last thing he could think of is the fuel rail. And so after consulting with Mike from Walker Outdoors and thinking about it, I called him back and I said, look, I need the whole thing running properly. I'm going to be towing a 14,000 pound trailer. So I said, go ahead and clean out the fuel rail. I said, what else is left that it can be? So today, I just got off the phone with him. They cleaned out the fuel rail. He said it wasn't even that bad. Took it for a ride. It died out on him as soon as it's getting hot. And he said, so now we're doing some more troubleshooting. So the good news is compression is good on all cylinders. The injectors are good on all cylinders, and they're not blocked or cracked or restricted at all. So now he's pulling the intake manifold to see if there's a crack in that, because they've had a similar ghost-like issue before. That was the intake manifold where there was a crack in it. And then it gets even better. When I went there to meet them this morning, there was a brand new oil leak, 3 inches across, in the same exact spot as the oil cooler that the last mechanic replaced. So I told the manager about that. I said, look, when I brought it to you, it did not drop a drop of oil, not one single drop. I said, I drove it. I parked it in my garage on clean concrete. I sat it for 4 days. It did not leak a drop. So he was going to check with his technician if he had to pull anything off while he was replacing all the fuel lines. So it is still a mystery. It's still an unknown. The good news is this dealership, he goes, look, I'd rather eat some labor and make sure your truck is running right. In the back of my mind, I'm like, well, I brought it here to fix this problem. So unbelievably, we're still pulling engine parts and there's another new oil leak. So I should know something tomorrow on the 20th. I'm hoping I get to pick it up and it does not have an oil leak and everything runs perfect. But that's where it's at right now, late afternoon, July 19th. So stay tuned and I will bring it to you as soon as I get that truck, hopefully, and assess the overall damages of how much I sunk into this thing. Thanks.